What's up, everybody? I'm back again. I told you I was going to be back. And I am. It's Joe. This is going to be episode 3 of the, what I'm calling the Carpool Podcast. Associated with the Big Bad Dumb Show. It's easy. It's easy for me to just turn on this app and record and whatnot and put some thoughts down on audio and send them out. It's pretty simple stuff, man. It's pretty cool. This Spreaker site that we've been using since the beginning to run, the standard podcast and everything back in the studio when we had a studio, and even then now here afterwards, to be able to create the podcast, store them, keep them up so they're accessible through iTunes, all that good stuff. I haven't checked iTunes to see if it's updating, but I need to do that. But it just makes it easy when I'm driving around doing my regular job and I've got some thoughts or some ideas and stuff that I want to talk about. I can just pot it up and make it happen, So, yep. But so today, as I tweeted out earlier, I noticed I was out this morning getting my breakfast, and it's just, and the McDonald's I go to was busier than usual. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are all these people doing out? And it dawned on me. It's the first of the month. Yeah. That EBT got filled up. Let's go out and spend some money. We got our retirement checks. We got our government checks. Let's go spend it all. We'll get it done. We'll get it all spent by the 3rd. I'll get it on the 1st and spend it by the 3rd. So everybody was out. Ridiculous. It was busy as fuck. But the main reason that I was doing this one today is because over the weekend, and see, I didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday. Over the weekend, I watched Ozark. I popped that up on my Netflix. I'm like, all right, I like Jason Bateman. Let me see what's going on. And I started watching that. I did 5 hours. I did 5 hours on Friday, and then finished it on Saturday, the other 5 hours. It's only 10 episodes, so you get through it pretty quick. But man, oh man, is it a ride. From the first episode all the way through, it is a hopping and busy and moving and everything else. Let me tell you, between Jason Bateman, and then it's also got Laura Linney. Laura Linney, if you remember, she was the wife in The Truman Show. That movie, The Truman Show. She was, excellent in that. She is spectacular in this. Jason Bateman is off the rails in this. It is, I'm telling you, that first episode locks you in. You're like, well, I got to see where the fuck this goes. I can't turn it off. Sure, 8 seconds. Let that run by. And the autoplay on the Netflix. 10 seconds goes by. Boom, there's the next one. All right, let me watch episode 2. All right, let me watch episode 3. All right, 4 and 5. Right behind them. Real quick. You just move right on through. It's cast very well. It's basically, Jason Bateman he's a fund manager. An investment fund manager. And basically what you get from the inception is that he's laundering money for a cartel, for a drug cartel out of Mexico. Isas Morales, he plays Del, which is the cartel guy. He's the head cartel guy that has been working with Jason Bateman and his company, his firm, with a partner, his name Bruce, I believe, if I remember correctly. Bruce doesn't last very long into that first episode. You see why very quickly and how it escalates. And that's where I'm saying it grabs you. Basically they start in Chicago. So their family living in Chicago. Jason Bateman and Laura Linney are married. They have 2 kids. And I'm going to tell you what. This Sophia Huberts, whoo, fucking smoke show. There's a couple episodes in there where she's running around in some shorty shorts. Holy shit. Amazing. Fucking amazing. Fucking little piece running around. That keeps your attention too, let me tell you that. But basically, Jason Bateman's character has to pull some magic out of his ass to keep from dying, and make some promises that are pretty extraordinary. And the reason it is called Ozark is because they end up in the Ozarks in Missouri. I'm not going to spoil anything, just the way that it gets there happens in a certain way. And so then Jason Bateman rounds up the family and they take off. And there's some things that happen leading up to that, where, you know, Jason Bateman's character, he's running around trying to get some money put together because he's got to pay back some money and these things and whatnot, and other things happen, and it's pretty astonishing. He finds out a revelation. He gets some information. He makes a couple decisions. Saves some lives, a life, that kind of a thing. But he gets the family together. They go down to Ozark because he's got an idea, and he's got to finagle a situation. It's kind of, you know, it's like it's a Breaking Bad type situation, but for money laundering, as opposed to like actually selling the drugs and whatnot. It's so, you know, you have all of these circumstances and happenstances and paths crossing and butterfly effect type things, you know, occurring. And that's even discussed in the show. It's even brought up at some point that Jason Bateman and Laura Linney are having a conversation, and how Jason's talking about, you know, this tiny little decision made way back at this point, and how it just has a ripple effect through time, and it can affect so many lives in so many different ways. It's pretty extraordinary. If you haven't watched it, it's something that you need to put on your list and go and watch it. Sit down. It's only the 10 hours will fly by. You'll get through the next to last scene. In episode 10 of the first season let me just tell you, there's a difference between hillbillies and rednecks. You are told the difference between hillbillies and rednecks. You are taught the difference between hillbillies and rednecks, and how this family are hillbillies, they're not rednecks. And it's very important to keep that in mind. Because of what happens in the final episode of the first season. So take the lesson, put it in the back of your mind. Remember that there's a difference between hillbillies and rednecks, and you won't be utterly shocked when something occurs, when it occurs. I'll just tell you that much. One of the things, like, I was looking up all the characters and whatnot, and everybody and who was playing who in this, and I came across a story from a couple days ago that some local news channel down in Missouri was running. They went out and I guess they interviewed some people that live in the Ozarks, the sheriff, the real sheriff, a real estate agent. I don't know why the fuck they're talking to a real estate agent. I guess because there's a real estate agent in the show, and there's a storyline affecting with that and that kind of thing. So maybe that's why they went and talked to a real estate agent, which is that's kind of funny. So that's kind of cool on that side of it. But so then basically the real estate agent says, I've watched one of the episodes. Great. So now I'm pretty sure you can give us a complete breakdown and association as to how this fictional show relates to the actual residents of the Ozarks and if it portrays them in a positive or a negative light by watching maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the show. So, but, you know, she's a little concerned, a little bothered by it. And it's like, stop. All right? It's fictional, it's fake, it's made up. All they're doing is they're just taking the place. Like New Jersey for The Sopranos. You know, it's Jersey. Relax. All right? Not everybody living out in the Ozarks is a redneck. Is a redneck. We understand. We don't correlate it exactly. It doesn't translate specifically from the show to it's like, knock it off. The feigned outrage and, oh my God, I got to be upset about this because it portrays an area in which I live. Nah, stop it. It's a made-up fucking show. It just takes place down there. Jesus Christ. No need to get offended. At least watch the entire fucking show before you have an opinion on it. And you'd probably be like, you know what? That's pretty goddamn close. We got people that are down here living on these waters. More shoreline than the entire California coast. The Ozarks. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about the Ozarks from this show. I might even like to vacation down there sometime. Seems like a pretty nice place. If it wasn't for all the drug dealing and money laundering shit going on. I'm kidding. Fucking Christ. I know it ain't real. Crime everywhere. That shit. But, goddamn, man, I had this pimple on top of my fucking head. It is killing me. I've been picking at it for 3 days. Scabbed up a little bit. Finally get that little fucker off there. Ah, damn, that hurts. Eee. Yeah. Sorry. I was picking at my head. Yeah. Which, that can transition into this, talking, you know, as we talk about outrage over TV shows, we've got a little minor uproar about a TV show that doesn't even exist yet. The producers that are in charge of Game of Thrones had a little idea of a show that they were going to call Confederate. Okay. I'm intrigued. Which would be an alternate history portrayal. It'd almost be an alternate universe type thing of as if the Confederacy had won the Civil War. And they were in charge. And it became the Confederate States of America. That kind of a thing. There's a bit of some pushback from certain people, that, oh, this shouldn't be allowed. Oh, this is wrong on so many levels. How dare they? It's made up. It's fake. They already did a TV show. They did a miniseries about this exact thing. It was on the History Channel or something where I saw it played. Here comes a fucking truck. Right by where I'm fucking parked. Ah, it's a good thing you dropped off a bunch of fucking lumber, you fucknut piece of shit. You got a half a truck full of fucking lumber still. Dickhead. Anyways. There was a show, there was a mini-series about this, as if the Confederacy had won the Civil War. It was a stupid throwaway show. I watched it. It was, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 episodes, something like that. I can't remember what it was called. But you know, it was like a documentary type, interview type show. You know, from that angle. It didn't really show anything and whatnot. And I also remember a movie with John Travolta in it. I should have looked it up because it was on my mind the other day. Where whites and blacks, the roles were reversed. That blacks were the prominent race, and that whites were the subservient. That whites used to be slaves, and it was the mid-90s now, and whatnot, and whites were living as if they were the blacks, and the blacks were living as if they were the whites. That kind of thing. So there was this total role reversal. No one was upset about that. Oh, because it portrayed blacks in the power seat. That kind of a thing. Then it was just announced within the last couple of days, I think, that Amazon is producing might be producing a show where Southern blacks were given land in relation to Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, something like that, as reparations. So they were given this land, and it was their nation. It became their country. And of course that's applauded. Yes, let's go with that story. Let's run with that. Let's not do this fake story. Let's do this fake story. We can do this fake TV show, the fake history, that kind of a thing, and portray life in this manner, but we can't do this now because it may be detrimental to people of color. We haven't seen anything yet. They haven't created anything. We don't know if it could or is or will or won't, but we're gonna denounce it anyways. Let's do it now. Do you guys not realize there's a fucking TV show? There's a show right now on Amazon called The Man in the High Castle. If you haven't seen this, it's 2 seasons, 20 episodes, 10. There's 10 per. Another truck coming, by the way. Motherfuckers. You fuckers are building these houses and buying these houses and paying $300 a house to build a fucking house. Wasting your fucking money in a market where you can go and buy a house that's already built and save some fucking cash. But no, you motherfuckers want to go out and build a brand new house, has zero equity in it. You're not going to get anything out of it for 20 years. Fucking idiots. Anyways, The Man in the High Castle. So you have The Man in the High Castle. The premise of this is that the Nazis and the Japanese won World War II. You have Nazis running the fucking world. I ain't heard a fucking word about that one. The fucking utterness and ridiculousness and the utter just inability to see beyond what something is and have to politicize everything. Everybody's upset over Trump politicizing every fucking thing. You fuckers on the other side do the same thing. You got to politicize every single thing. You have to make every single thing about race. You have to make every single thing about homophobia, transphobia, bigotry. It is nauseating at this point to where you are not being taken seriously in any conversation. No one is taking this fucking woman seriously. I guess she's someone who started the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't even know her fucking name. That's how important she is. She's never even crossed my fucking radar. Not once. And she wants to get upset about something that doesn't even fucking exist yet. It's just a thought. It's a possibility. It's something that could happen. Who knows? It might be fucking great. I'm pretty sure that there'd be storylines of an uprising in the midst of it. I'm pretty sure Whitey's getting killed in it from this uprising that's occurring in that alternate universe of Confederate. It's like, seriously, you don't even fucking know. So calm the fuck down. Go to Chicago and worry about the shit that's going on there on a daily basis. fucking shit, man. It's a fucking streaming TV show made for entertainment, for people to sit on their fucking couch, stare at a TV, and watch a show and pay money. That's it. That's it. Netflix has almost 100 million subscribers. 100 million subscribers paying a monthly fee. Can you fucking imagine that? 100 million subscribers, and let's say the average is $9. I'm at like $8 because I'm grandfathered in. I'm on the initial video only plan. I started at, maybe it's $9 now, maybe it's $8.99. So maybe it's $8.99. So that's $900 million a month. Holy shit. Who cares if they're $20 billion in debt? They make $12 billion a year. Who cares? Those numbers jive. Who gives a shit if they're $20 billion in debt? You know what? In business, you use other people's money. You don't use your money. You use other people's money to make money, is what you do. So yeah, I'd be $20 billion in debt too if I was running Netflix. I'd be using the bank's money. I'd be using investors' money. I wouldn't be using my own fucking money. Fuck that shit. Truck number 3, coming from the fucking construction. Hauling fucking nothing. Fucking shit, dude. Oh, look, they got a wall up. They got one wall up for this house back here they're building. They're knocking that fucker out. Getting that built real quick, huh? Yeah. But yeah, $20 billion. Apple, iPhone 8 coming out in September, most likely, accidentally leaked by Apple. Stock price jumped about 5% yesterday. They're now at an evaluation of almost $900 billion. $900 billion is what the Apple is worth. $900 billion. $900 billion. You figure an NFL team, let's call it like the Dallas Cowboys, are worth $4 or $5 billion, $6 billion, maybe $12 billion, something like that. $900 billion. Dallas Stadium cost $1 billion to build. That's what Jerry Jones spent to build Texas Stadium, the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium that's been there for several years now. He spent $1 billion to build it. He didn't use his money, of course, used somebody else's money. So it cost, he didn't spend it. It cost $1 billion to build. $1 billion. $900 billion is what Apple was fucking worth. And I would say so because that's the only equipment I fucking own. There's only 2 of us there's now 3 of us. 3 of us in my house. I have 2 fucking iPhones. A new one, an old one. My wife's got an iPhone, an iPad. I got an iPad. I did buy my kid an Amazon Fire. Because those are cheap, so if she breaks that fucking piece of shit, I can just get another one. Easy. But yeah, of course. Hundreds of millions of devices, if not billions of devices. All buying apps and buying songs and buying movies and everything else. Yeah. Fucking shit. God damn, man. To be fucking Forrest Gump in 1980, that'd been great. Get my hands on some of that fucking Apple stock from way back in the day. Because at this point, it's useless. You can't go and buy stock now. You can't now go and buy stock in Facebook and Apple and Netflix and Google and all that shit. You're just throwing your money away because it's peaked. It's not growing. It's not going to grow as fast. It's not going to grow as fast as it did from $100 a share to, $800 a share. You know? So between $800 and $900 a share for you to make, and it's going to cost you a shitload of fucking money to get in. God damn. So yeah, time machine, gimme. Let me go back. Throw me in a hot tub. Let me get in a hot tub time machine so I can go the fucking back in time. I'll start fucking Google. Shit. Man, just the money. The fucking money, man. But, so yeah, that's, pretty simple stuff here, man. I'm sitting, waiting to go golfing. It's golf day. I just figured I'd throw some shit down for you. So, Ozark, watch it. I'm going to hit the movie theater this weekend, I think. Take the wife. Maybe we'll go Atomic Blonde, Valerian, some shit like that. Report to you guys on Monday about the weekend. That kind of a thing. Maybe I'll come up with something for tomorrow. Throw another one up. Just quick, easy, 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Stuff like that, man. Just put content out. So if anybody wants to listen to it, they can listen to it. If they don't, who gives a shit? I don't. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to put it out there. So, yeah. Alright. That's it for today. Another fucking thing coming by making some noise. So, we'll go out on that. Here he comes. There you go. These motherfuckers just hauling dirt around. Fucking shit. Just noise constantly. I fucking parked it and sat it still. Maybe it wouldn't be so noisy. I was wrong. Cocksuckers. Alright, kiddies. Until next time, this is Joe. Big Bad Dumb Show. Carpool Podcasts. Well, maybe. We'll talk to you guys later.